Right. Minianum Michecha Musum for Aikeni. Today is the 29th April 2021. Today is the Thursday. Still on the crusade to appeal to the conscience of the Ghanaian political leader, the leadership of Ghana, the ultimate leadership. To appeal to your conscience to do what is right for the people of Ghana. Because without mincing words, you are failing, or somebody will even go to the extreme and say you have failed, and it will not be far from wrong. The people of Ghana, period. If we can understand this, if we can accept this together, we can find a solution to it. You have to accept that you have failed the people of Ghana on pertinent, important things that needs to be done swiftly, radically, showing leadership. And we cannot go on like this. We cannot go on like this. So I'm not gonna. Well, I think we need to start educating people to move away from attending. But there are certain things that we can say in a way that we are attacking the conduct of the politician, not the person. If I say your leadership is useless, I'm not insulting you, I'm insulting the leadership that you're showing. And I have to, word of caution, some words are going to pop up during this recording, like damn, bloody, useless, incompetent. They are not insults. Okay? They are not insults. If something is going to slip up, like shit, I'm going to just spell it. I'm not going to mention it. But it's all directed to the conduct that you're showing, not your person itself. I respect all of you. All right? So I'm going to play these three clips that I have here on my screen and appeal to your conscience that Adankwa Dada Beno, it's gone on for too much. We are not all that stupid. It looks like Ghana, Obibe Fremum for politicians, political leadership, because you're the ultimate authority of Ghana. You think we are all stupid. The hype, the gimmicks, is way too much now. Stop the pretense. Understand that you have failed the people of Ghana in all dimensions, across board, and fix the mess. Stop lying to us, pretending you're doing something, you're doing nothing. I'm starting with Kusi Boafo. He's still in government. Is Kusi Boafo still in government? I had a lot of respect and hope in you when you started bringing your revelations about the extent of corruption that went on under Mahama, and you have all the dossier. You give the information out. You said you've given it to the appropriate authorities for prosecution and stuff like that. And you promised that there would be winning Kusia ehu Kusi Boafo. Sɛ nipa ndemu a wobe campaign tia nanado. It was a straightforward statement. And Kusi Boafo, nipa na wohu won sɛ ɔnwa katahyehyɛ proye etia ɔman Ghana and the people of Ghana. Hello, ayembia obia demana. Has any of the people you Odi Wenin Kosua who say they've taken the country to the cleanest? No? Has any of them gone to prison in 4 years? Are we such jokers? What is going on? What kind of people do we get to go into political leadership in Ghana? If you don't have what it takes to go into political, don't bloody volunteer. And some of you don't even have the courage of your conviction. Mr. Kusibuafu, I respected you so much. What else for? Go to Malawi. A minister of God, of Assemblies of God, is now the president. Go and find out what he's doing. The new Magufuli on the African continent. You can take his word for it. He is prosecuting people in his government within 1 year of coming into government for abusing COVID funds. This is the leadership we need. Not selective justice. If you want to deal with corruption and other, start within your government. About 4 years ago, you spent 4 years. Find out in your government who is corrupt now and prosecute them. Are you telling me that in 4 years, none of the people you appointed is corrupt? Don't tell me to give you evidence. You even go into Galamsey. Galamsey now will say the fight and you failed, Have you, the people you put in charge for the Galamsey, are Galamsey in a fail, What have you done to them? These people were involved in Galamsey themselves. There are people in your government who are involved in Galamsey. You cannot tell me you don't know. When some of us sitting here, miles away, we know. And journalists have gone and done their investigation and given you evidence of corruption and connivance. People in your government conniving with Galamseyers and doing the job that you are trying to stop. And you're telling me you don't know and you need evidence? You think we are all fools? Without due respect, Mr. President, I respected you. I still respect you, and I supported you. Say Nanado or buy you video clip me. If you want to make money, go to the private sector. If you come into government, it's what is written on the tin to public service. If you want to make money, go to the private sector. The people are in your government doing Galamsey, making millions. And you fail the fight because of the people in your own government involved in Galamsey. And you come and give us another lecture about fighting Galamsey again. How did you fail the last 4 years? All right, let me go to Kusibuafu. I'm going to play Kusibuafu's clip, and then I'll come and respond to it.
Yes, no. I was here, Kansampa, and the fat Unuma, where to go, Yenafe, not Mumia, Tonsania way at the Amagana for. You're corrupt, and your fat was your mamma.
Now, what's the president?
Office of the president, we have the Bernam. Now, President Don the Money Mahamas is sea of cars, and I'm paying a sea of cars. No, Nebu Homan may catch you 2013 to 2016. Document we are still collating, and I'm pretending 376 cars. And now John the Money Mahama, any chief of staff, or Mutondi Free, office of the president. The new company back open. So for Faba, would you be BJ or minor $165,000? Abosumi Siape, near South Tamano, $2,500. The same company for the coin.
Hold on,
I'm interested. Company A, no Faka. With specification, but could be free Dubai. I don't know your specifications. Spec. $165,000. Now, Osumisia, it require 14 days time. I don't want to be roof last house. Yes, $500. And the amount in the Pacrono, the buy, no one could turn a bunting over $4 billion. No much is Canadian. The documents are here.
But
The politics, and the chances number of
information. And you have the same thing 2017. They said
documents in the pretty more as I am. Because me bra makasa da me ya ga nyame nkome da me wi ga na sika nyame nkome me so
but this cannot be. This is a scheme.
A grand scheme. A scheme keke.
Grand corruption.
Chief of staff. When are they chief of staff and this in wrestle between 2013 and 2016? And the area near my way. Cars way, no. About March 15th. LCGSR SPL automatic.
So, Kusibuafo, you've made an allegation. It's not what? I mean, you've made an allegation that you claim you have documents to it. Chief of Staff Mahama Bresna Julius Deborah, Ghana or Ghana, right? Are we serious? If Julius Deborah has caused financial loss to the state, he must bloody be prosecuted. Why hasn't he been prosecuted? Mr. President, Nanado, why has Julius Deborah not been prosecuted according to the dossier, the document Kusibuafo has got? Are we serious? Did you hear all these things that Kusibuafo was saying? Almost 4 years ago. This was 2017, early 2018. If Julius Deborah is alleged to have caused financial loss to the state, why hasn't he been arrested, charged, and bloody prosecuted? Why? Why? Look, corruption and no prosecutions around the corridors of power in Ghana is the number one concern of the Ghanaian voters. I repeat, Mr. President, corruption katashishene proye without prosecutions around our air kosuno, without prosecutions around the political corridors of power, around where you work. Corridors of power is where you politicians work. Forget about the people down there. Where you guys are, where you operate. Corridors of power is the number one concern of the Ghanaian voters. You campaign at the backlog of corruption under Mahama. You people came into power. I'm taking Kusibuafo pet ne dossier. The evidence is got about the kind of corruption that went on, even with just state money and state vehicles. Why has no one been prosecuted? Why do you politicians take the people for granted? And we have a lot of people in civil society, media, everywhere, being quiet. They are not resonating these issues constantly, putting it in front of these politicians. You know, we need people with conscience to go into political leadership. We need to raise the standard of people who want to go into political leadership. We don't say people should be perfect, but you need to have conscience that there are certain things that you cannot do as a political leader. And there are certain things that must be addressed so that it will not happen again. Why, Mr. President? Why, Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo? You are the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. And you're saying that Operation Vanguard with army officers involved, and the army officers turn around and become the galamseyers. And you are the Commander-in-Chief. And you want the people to be blamed. People should help. No, you are the ultimate authority. You need to Set an example. Say, when you appoint people for a specific job to clean up a mess and they fail, you fire them. You fire them in public. This is how radical leadership is about. If you weren't friends with John Magufuli, at least the history is there. Go and find out. It's not really long ago. Recently, go and find out how in 6 years he didn't borrow a penny. He cleaned up corruption around the corridors of power in Tanzania. Procurement corruption saved Magufuli billions to execute projects in Tanzania without borrowing a penny. You have Ofuriatta borrowing all over the place as if say we are investing the money somewhere. Because he's an investment banker, he thinks he's a good finance minister. No, he's the worst finance minister we've had. Borrowing so much, doing very little with it. There are too many problems around you, and people are milking the state around you, and you pretend or you genuinely don't see it. Then you're not cut for this leadership. With all due respect, Mr. President, it was just unfortunate that you faced Mahama in 2020 because people don't have hope in him as well. He's like the other side of you. People accuse Nkrumah of forming a one-party state, but virtually we've had one-party state in Ghana for 28 years. And MPP and NDC, you are two sides of the same coin. You don't even right now talk about corruption again. You talk about who is fantastically corrupt than the other. It's not about who is corrupt, but who is fantastically corrupt than the other. That's how you accuse each other now. You have no intention of stopping corruption in Ghana. MPP and NDC. It's very clear. I scratch my back. You scratch my back. I scratch your back. We've had one-party state in Ghana. It's just that we are alternating two sides of the same coin. One called MPP, one called NDC. We are alternating you too. One-party state because you come and do the same jack old SHIT. Bad governance. Let me continue with what PROSECUTION is saying. Jesus Christ.
To Salam Cruises Camry, by then LC 200 VX 4.5 DS. I said the and I make a minimum advances to by Nina bedroom max by 2nd June 2015. No matter cars Nina.
Cars na Ghana this car. I the panica. The almost have to car man said a defect.
Any defect. A presidency of the year vehicle transition point for corruption. Meaning, any chances number in any baby, the papa could party official, no yet teacher, it's Osia, and I know you are well.
Go fear them, says Papa, with buyer, one coaching a craft for see.
How do you buy a car? Okay, because I can't toy and boom. 19 billion Ghana cedis. Yes, he paid only 500 million for those cars. My good friend, Ghana will be interested. If you were here fancy, boot for boot. Car be super true. Omani will be at the doors. Make car.
You said Ghana will be interesting. I didn't see anything interesting, right? After these revelations you made. I mean, do you go back and play some of these things you said yourself? Seriously, I shared a lot of your videos. I had a lot of hope. But mama is a form. And this is on joke they surrounding themselves on Mahama, who is as bad as what is going on during the time. during Mahama's time, I mean, this is what was going on under Mahama. So why would anybody want to bring Mahama back? Don't you have any other person, NDC, any other person who is ready to have a bedside view about what is going on and come out and say, no, I put my presidency on the line. Know what Nanado said. Because Nanado, you should resign. If you put your presidency on the line to stop Galamsey and you failed, you bloody must resign without due respect. You must resign. You put your presidency on the line. How did you put your presidency on the line? I mean, from where we are sitting and from where we are standing, it simply means that if you fail to deal with Galamsey, you resign. That is what it means. I don't know whether you had another meaning to it, but if you had another meaning to it, then you didn't make it clear. But at the end of the day, you failed. And when you appoint people to do a job and they fail, why don't you punish them? This is the problem. This is the weakness of political leadership we've had in Ghana. And people expected so much of you. And I don't think a good word. People expected so much of you, including myself. People call you my man. You know, I'm neutral, but people call you my man because, I mean, on the balance of the scale, I would think that before you became president, I would like to give you a chance because what was going on under Mahama was nothing to write home about. Everything was going in the wrong direction. But look at what you've done. One thing that people expected it to do is to deal with corruption so that people will see a new regime, a new way of doing business in Ghana. But no, it hasn't happened. Oh dear.
Nimu papa me ya me ka ba enye enti me head dem ke enti wo me nim ka mu bi a mo publish a onom be nya me ma mo copies next week me send a series of copies e dia brem me fa ko no wa unya ye o hina wunya bi publish na ba mu a wasem asofo nyire ko gigibi e to ton sa ba hat I forgot to be politicians if mo girlfriend even media you yourself media for the Toby I'm $2,500 tell you Land Cruiser V8 $2,500 which is in Ghana now 100 million 100 million no for maybe Toby 50 million 50 million 5,000 Ghana cedis Land Cruiser I tell you na car bi kwa dey give away na car na a biscuit it was a gift ya for to so sa yes I man bi do o mu nyire bi e dey focha ti na nado the fight against obi ada na sika na oya grand scheme say well only one aspect of a grand scheme to money microphone kempo Ghana na create class state via unjustifiable class society osi so mi hwehwe mu kwahwehwe wo man dan tata go be kwa protocol go timi to be private area ya dan wo prot ye 1 million Ghana cedis obekọ na ne manshi esie then you ask yourself say wo kura no say wo dey work Jimmy as a taxpayer na sabi ye dey ye mu say ya why shouldn't all the institution be destroyed and the institution in say I understand it. The leadership was terribly bad. The former government and the one of my Ghana, it was terribly bad as government. Now
the leadership was terribly bad, the former government. You're talking about under Mahama. We know that in the last 4 years. What do you say to what has happened in the last 4 years? The leadership has been terribly bad the same way. This is why most of us will say, MPP and NDC, you are bloody damn the same people who have position themselves in these two parties and taking the damn country to the bloody cleanest. That is what is happening in Ghana now. And we have to call the spade, the shovel, and call things by their proper name, and then speak truth to power. Yabremo. 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 Ghana politicians, Ghana Penny4, people you volunteered to go into political leadership. You've been a disgrace to the next generation. Show some conscience. Show some conscience. You are human beings. Show that you have conscience. You have conscience. People in political leadership, all appointees of the president, speak up. Speak up. Speak up. The country is begging you to do the right thing. People are tired of the crap that is going on. People are bloody damn tired. Show your conscience. Show that you have some courage of some convictions that you hold before you went into politics. This cannot go on forever. There is God, oh. This cannot go on forever. At some point, the Almighty God will find a way of delivering His people. The people can never be under bondage, under wicked and selfish politicians who are not showing that they have any conscience to do what is right for the people, apart from family and friends. The ordinary people are suffering, whilst a handful of you and your families and friends are enjoying. Through corruption, create, loot, and share. Bow down your heads in shame. Ghanaian politicians, this crop of politicians we have, if you are not part of them, speak up. There are a few good ones among you, I have to say. But speak up. Stop being cowards and timid. Speak up. And see how the people will support you. Speak up. Speak up and cause a change to happen in Ghana for the better. Speak up. We need people on the decision-making table to speak up. We cannot go on like this forever.
I've told him. Yes, I see you.
You didn't do that. You didn't campaign against Nanado. So what do you say to that, Mr. Kusibuavu? Are you still in government? Are you still the boss of Public Sector Commission or Public Reforms Commission or whatever you call it? Are you still in government? How do you feel that Nipandem? And don't tell me it's in the pipeline, the prosecution. Come on, I mean, we are not all stupid. How can you keep postponing simple, straightforward prosecution for years? And you want to clean up the system? How? I mean, how can you take years to prosecute one single case? Opuni has been in court for 4 years now. We think we are all stupid, and I said,
award the contract yanka World Bank no be $50 million, $250 million. Abeto maso ya me dey reforms ka busibu am ka me yire e ko school na ko da VAT be mi nu na ka sasu say ya na me ma di ko school. O dey ase. Yes. Can you see the drinking spot? I'm saying, come on, I want to say, the two in a mono, no money much. What you say? Me call holiday or mine, can be buy, you can be see as here. Me do particular says, Shiame, last half house that me come up here. Think I to what my PPA be name, ultimate. That is the society that we have.
Said so, I'm repeating it, I'm continuing to repeat it. I am not interested in politics because of what I will gain for myself. I didn't come into politics to try and make money in politics. I have my own profession. I'm also a businessman. If I want to concentrate on making money, that is where I put my energies. You come into public service, it is exactly that, public service. I want to insist that all those who are going to come and help me in government understand from the get-go one thing very clear. That if it is that you are interested in being minister or whatever, being part of the executive is to make money, then my advice to you is go to the private sector. Go there. That's where people make money, in the private sector. If you come into public service, you're coming for exactly that, to render public service. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that what I'm telling you here tonight becomes the principle
of Oh dear. I have to laugh. Because if I don't laugh, I respect Nanado so much. I'll say some things that will be borderline disrespectful. So I have to laugh. Nanado, you failed. You failed. If nobody is telling you, if your wife is not telling you, I know Gabio Jidako won't tell you. You know, he won't tell you. He'll tell you that you're doing a great job. Everything is going on well. He will not, you know. And your secretary of the cabinet, what's that guy's name? That guy is baldhead. What's his name? Something be there too. He will not tell you. He will not tell you. I mean, I don't even have to say why he will not tell you. Everybody knows why these people will not tell you. You surrounded yourself with people that they won't tell you the truth, that you failed so far as what will be the cardinal principle with which you set up to govern Ghana. You failed. You appointed people who are doing galamsey. What do I say? You have people in your government doing galamsey. The galamsey that you put your presidency on the line. How could you set out as a president to deal with galamsey, and people that you appoint, they do galamsey, and you say you don't know, and you want me to bring you evidence? Come on. What to a boy who now the I mean, Mr. President, come on, with all due respect, we are not all stupid. Frimpong Boateng was caught on video, and audio is there saying that the party needs money for campaign, so the party is doing galamsey. The whole party is doing galamsey. There is a concession that is given so that the party needs money. Yes, the party needs a campaign. A campaign for you, Mr. President. The galamsey that you are fighting, no? NPP as a party was doing galamsey with your executives, so party executives doing galamsey for the party. I mean, your people in your party are doing galamsey, and you want to fight galamsey. How stupid can that be? How is that possible? Excuse me, but I'm saying, say, the idea, say, you want to fight Galamsey when your people are doing Galamsey. It's stupid. It cannot happen. You have to deal with the people in your government doing Galamsey before you can stop Galamsey. We stop blaming the Chinese and we blaming foreigners and all sorts of things when the enemy is within. It's within your own party and around the political corridors of power. MPP people are doing Galamsey. NDC people are doing Galamsey. Ahimfo are doing Galamsey. Powerful people in Ghana are doing Galamsey. And you don't find these people to arrest them. I thought you said, say, you wanted to fight corruption and you used the Anas principle. I've got a video clip as well. I think it's not on this screen, so I cannot play that one. You use the Anas principle. You set out young, motivated young people to go undercover to unearth corruption wherever it's happening. Why haven't you done that? If you ask me to do that, get people for you to do that, I can easily get motivated young people who go undercover and unearth corruption within your own government for you. I'm telling you, I can privately get people together, go undercover and unearth corruption for you. If you wanted to do that, you would have done that. These are the things I heard you said before you came to power that I thought, maybe something different can happen in Ghana using the Anas principle, because people don't do corruption in daylight around the political corridors of power. It is all under the darkness of the night. Ewo esumase intine esfrene katasheshe any prayer dream. So how do you fight corruption or unearth corruption when you don't have people who are motivated to do that? The hype and the gimmicks are awesome. We've seen what you've done in 4 years. It's a failure. So far as the pertinent concerns of the people, or one of the most important concerns of the people, is corruption around the corridors of power. And the fact say, when it is even known, there are no prosecutions. Give me one prosecution that has taken place in Ghana in the Fourth Republic around the political corridors of power. One successful prosecution of political leadership that has been successful. None. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. None. I'm saying Kufo ba na onwa oyesio prosecuting Minister of Sports back could be honum baby. And no crampo yes no onye MPP ni no prosecuting. That is what people are saying. I mean, that time some buy not just say more about fresh, Muntesti corruption, move the energy vim. Said they were now your attorney general and now chasing Crawford left, right. Those are the things people saw in you and say, oh, Nana is radical. If you give him the presidency, but Charlie, you've been around for too long and you've been sort of compromised in the head. Maybe not. I wouldn't say, I can't blame you. Say you have been directly involved in corrupt activities, but I think say the same way they accuse Kufo, say Kufo was behind Yakwajabani didn't share brain, allegedly, maybe that is what's happening to you as well. You guys have been there too long and then you have been compromised. If you didn't show the courage of your convictions to beat them, so you joined them. Look at your own government. Your own government too. Kennedy Japan the other day was saying it. Say, Nanado. The reason why people actually believe in you, they say, yes, Nanado, ye assassin 1 GB. Chikufo assassin, government land now mo ba mo channel. Me say, I lie, God day. One day, somebody will come to Ghana and collect all that land and the properties on those lands to the state. I'm telling you, more and more check oman insase afa politicians amato to oman insase no say oman insase de untimi mfem kwa abrochire and the mfem to Swiss bank and as a foreign account you build on it in Ghana, so it's good much check oman insase na mo sit down. So one day someone will come and look into the books and take all those lands back to the state with the properties of them and chuck everybody out, your families and your friends. One day, as I said, you can't run away with it. So Nanado, we heard say when you were minister and Akufo, you didn't take it. You had strong convictions against that, right? At that time, you didn't take it. You turn it down. People use that, say, oh, you're incorruptible. They use that. People use that to define your incorruptibility nature. Under your leadership, according to Kennedy Japan recently, Moton or Mainsasi, Amamu politicians. Some of you are using your powers as political leaders and taking people's land as well. And on Mainsasi, you have continued selling it. This issue of selling state properties and state vehicles, mobile, you Moshe Mbrabi say you're not going to sell state vehicles again, and some Mbrabi buy it because that is wrong to be selling state vehicles and stuff like that. But you are selling state lands. Vehicles it deteriorates, right? I mean, who you are buying vehicle, you are stupid. It's only stupid, useless people that they own bibiada. What you say? Own bibiada and own phone vehicles. Car, a vehicle that deteriorates. How many cars can you drive? And own phone vehicles, they buy 6, they buy 5, they are stealing state vehicles. How cheap can these people be? People who go into political leadership. So cheap, stealing state vehicles. These stealing state vehicles. Say people can steal state vehicles. They have. I mean, if you are so low-minded to be stealing state vehicles, then what are you doing in secret that we don't know? How much are you stealing from the state? So you people, God day. At the end of the day, you cannot hide. You cannot hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. So keep doing what you're doing, Ghanaian politicians. Like I'm saying, Nanado, you are against the buying of state land. So you didn't buy it. Now you are the president. Under your leadership, under your watch, people are buying state land like Nkatie and Ikelewele. So, well done.
The damn flag bearer query. It is a surprise, therefore, that we are suffering in this country. A school which cost 160,000 to construct by the private sector cost in excess of 500,000 when done by this government. Why won't Ghanaians suffer? The presidential candidate then told us that 500,000 for a school was too expensive and that it amounted to corruption. Today, under the man who is prepared to protect the public purse, he is spending almost 800,000 to construct a school. I do recall the majority that when he said that when you throw ash into the air, it certainly comes back into your eyes. If 500,000 is mark of corruption, if 500,000 was too expensive, what do we talk about 770,000? What is happening? In less than a year, this is what we are seeing. Meanwhile, Mr. Speaker, we are told that inflation is.
We will strengthen our education system, anything that will expand and improve our infrastructure has to be welcomed. But there are several other issues that we all of us have to look at. The key, of course, is value for money. Fufu was able to put out 6-unit classroom blocks for 85,000 students at the time. And today, you're doing it for 350, 400,000. A couple of weeks ago, a month ago, we had a series of statistics that are alarming. Don't controversial. Built a classroom block for 510,000 students. One classroom? Well, or 1 unit. 1 unit, of course. Yeah, 400. 510,000 students. The regional community, yes, the regional minister, the friend of mine, Africa, you said, you opened it. 2 weeks later, MTN went and built the same 6-unit classroom block for 170,000 students. These are all the facts that are recorded in GBA. And so you ask yourself, I mean, these extraordinary discrepancies in the way in which our money is abused. What's the story? Is this where it is indeed that the issues of corruption find themselves? Are we getting value for money? Yes, we put up things. But if indeed in doing so you're bankrupting the state, impoverishing the country, what is the real nature of the achievement that you have made? It's important that the Ghanaian people are told the truth about what's there.
It is important that the Ghanaian people are told the truth about what is happening. This is what the then candidate Nanado said, right? So Nanado likes us to tell the truth. The people must know the truth. The same thing you are accusing your predecessor of inflated cost of projects happened during your last 4 years as president. That is the truth. But you don't accept it, or you say you don't have evidence. I mean, this whole thing about bring the evidence. You want to tell me that you didn't hear all that? For instance, I'll give you one example. It's out there. Everybody knows that. The issue to do with Kelny GVG deal, right? Most of us spoke against it under the Ministry of Communication. Imani spoke against it. Most of us spoke against it. I mean, how can you spend $89 million on that Kelny GVG deal signed by the government of Ghana with a firm, I think it's an Haitian ICT firm, the Kelny GVG. Haiti ICT firm. And a baby bukata el Ghana. Haiti. I mean, when you guys are in opposition, you say so many things. So I mean, this is what is happening. We gave you MPP people a chance. But look at NDC doing the same thing, trying to bring Mahama back. When the man supervised, he was a superintendent over corruption. Just like Nanado is being a superintendent over corruption in Ghana. Two sides of the same coin. That is why people call you guys Dukadaya. You are more or less the same. One party state for 28 years in Ghana. And can see a giant Kroma now carry on with the one party state. At least he had a vision. He had a vision that if he had stayed on as one party state and rolled it out, we would have seen a lot of things happening in Ghana. Even at that time, a lot of things were happening. Progressively. Yes, then corruption was going on. And I'm not a fan of Nkrumah so far as corruption is concerned. He looked on and corruption was going on. And all that you could say is say, corruption is not peculiar to Ghana. Come on, you are the president. Deal with it. If a bad thing is not peculiar to Ghana, you don't allow it to fester in Ghana just because it's happening elsewhere. Excuses. This is what is happening in Ghana as well. It's been worse. 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times worse. They say corruption near boom hundreds of millions of dollars. Corruption. That goes on in Ghana. So, if you are in opposition and you condemn malfeasance and inflated cost of projects, the procurement processes are infested with corruption, and you come in government and you haven't done anything to deal with that issue, we have a problem. The Ministry of Communication virtually engaged in a fraudulent act to rape the country with an award of 10 years contract worth $178 million to Kelvin GVG. A contract that shouldn't cost more than $10 million. It shouldn't. Interoperability? Come on. We are in the industry. This contract shouldn't cost more than $10 million. But it happened right under your watch, Nanado. The Ministry of Communication. Who is the Minister of Communication? God is watching you, all of you. God is watching you. God is watching you. So you carry on doing what you're doing. If you want to deal with corruption, Mr. President, you deal with corruption from the top. From the top. From the top. To peculate down. When you deal with corruption from the top, those at the bottom, automatically, they conform. If you deal with corruption from the top of political leadership, those at the bottom, they conform. Ghana can be fixed. It's all about leadership. A leader who is ready to do what needs to be done to enforce laws, law and order. It's not rocket science. You don't need so much money to enforce law and order. You have to just enforce the existing laws and make sure that people who are supposed to enforce laws, they are encouraged, they are motivated to do so. They should be the people around you, not your family and friends who are part of the corrupt gangsters. They are part of the people who are screwing and taking the country to the cleaners. They are like economic hitmen. You've surrounded yourself with economic hitmen. People who are conniving with criminal, corrupt people who want to dupe the country, and they come and tell you everything is fine. Let's do this. Don't listen to the people. They are your political enemies trying to bring you down. This is going to be good for the country. Oh, the Ejapa deal. It is so good. It is so wonderful. It is crap. It is not wonderful. You are mortgaging the future of gold royalties for a few hands in Ghana to dip their dirty hands into it and buy shares in this royalty and then go and live happily ever after. Go and sit down. They are going to steal from the country and buy those shares. They are going to steal the taxpayers' money. The people around you, they are going to steal taxpayers' money and buy part of the 51% for the state. 51% no canon. It will be available for everybody to buy now. They are the person who are going to buy it, the people around you. And then you leave government, and then they go and enjoy and be living like royalty elsewhere and sitting down, and then the state, the future of the state the royalties of future generations, they will be enjoying it because they use state money they've stolen to buy shares in something that should belong to the state and for future generations. And you sit down and you paint this deal, a Japan deal, as something good. Yes, in principle, it may look good and it may look very wonderful. But the people implementing it now, they don't have the good intention of Ghana. Their personal interest is entrenched in the deal. That is the truth. And we're not going to mince words about it. If you really want to have a state-owned such royalties that are making money, go and look at what Norwegian, they've done, the sovereign Norwegian, friends saying, the Norwegian government, what they've done with their oil. I've forgotten the name, but you know what I'm talking about. The Norwegians have done a similar thing with their oil, but it's 100% owned by the state. 100%. The most profitable in the whole world. Go and do a similar thing like that. And then we will see, say, you have the interests of the country at heart. 100% owned by the state. Not individuals in government who are going to go behind the curtains and buy the shares with shell companies that they've registered in the BVI and the Jersey. Because meanwhile, you've registered this so-called shambolic Ejapa in the Jersey as well. Come on, it's something that's owned by the government of Ghana. You register it in a safe haven like Jersey that people, come on. We don't even go there. We don't want to even go there. That's another issue. But Muntimi yeah Dankwada that do it forever. Ghana politicians. Sit up. Screw your conscience on your neck properly and do what is right for the country. I'm appealing to your conscience. Do what is right for the country because there is God.
You want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society. The most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just on holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with the businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top. If you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just on holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top. In a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just a holiday, no bribe. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must be at
Right. So, Minion, what I was going to say was the Norwegian sovereign bond, right? It is worth billions, the most profitable in the world. It's 100% owned by the state. If we want to maximize the profit on our gold royalties, we can do it by the state owning 100% of it and saving it for future generations. That is what must be done. We can do it. If we want to go that direction with our royalties, we can go the Norwegian way. That's all. Not people who are doing it who want to benefit from it. A handful of people, a handful of family and friends in the government, people who are actually doing the same thing, they want to go around the curtain and benefit from it forever. That cannot happen. That is corruption. That is corruption. That is legalized corruption. So, I'm going to finish this by saying I'm appealing to the conscience of the Ghanaian politician. I'm appealing to your conscience. Do what is right for posterity, for future generations of unborn children of Ghana. Think about them and do what is right for Ghana. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation greater and stronger. God bless you.